Arsenal responded in the biggest way possible, smashing their North London rivals 4-1. Even that one was a mistake, but we'll take the 4. Ignore the 1. A lot of people, especially 2 people on this panel right now, were hoping the Arsenal would drop points and nullify that game in hand for Manchester City. But Arsenal said, no, no, no. We know what you guys are planning. And besides, Tottenham are not fit anyway. So this is the biggest day and the biggest game to respond. And I'm sure all Arsenal fans around the world are happy. Manchester City will be happy and disappointed. They'll be happy with their results yesterday and disappointed with the results today. But what can we say? As long as Arsenal keep winning the games, we are going to remain top of the league and win on the last day of the Premier League season. But it's run of podcast.
Yeah, waiting to the last day.
Okay.
Actually, if we keep on winning, win before the final day.
Run of Play podcast. You understand? We've got the closest to a full house we've had in a long time. All of the enemies had shown up today, hoping for a different result. But let's start with the ups. How did you feel when you saw Gyökeres scoring, Eze scoring his 6th goal of the season, 5 against Spurs? How did you feel when you're watching that game?
Once Arsenal scored the second goal, I just tuned. I could tell that Tottenham were not serious. I think once I saw the lineup also, Paulinho be right center back. A manager that is from the beginning conceding. They shouldn't have respected Arsenal as much as they did, in my opinion, in this game. You can gamble on the fact that Arsenal can break a team down, but you score, and they didn't have what it took to score. From my perspective, so all round disappointing game. I honestly thought Arsenal were gonna stumble today. Maybe today is just not the day, because I also feel like Arsenal have a mistake.
So all
in them.
the stumbling that they've been doing in the last 3 games, that was not enough for you.
No. I mean, those are draws. Like, there needs to be more L's basically on the board. There needs to be more L's, and you need to be more, I would say, clinical if you want to punish Arsenal, and less respectful, right? Because, and I want to turn it back on you guys, the Arsenal fans. I feel like for so-called title contenders, right, there's still a bit of shakiness to the way your team plays. There's a calamity somewhere in there in the back line. It happened against United. Happened against Wolves.
To be fair, it happened today as well, because Tottenham's goal was given away by
it happened today. Yeah, right.
Yeah. And I feel like if you just like come at this Arsenal team with the right amount of aggression, like Dogo and Bruno and Cunha did, like that time. And even Wolves, right? Even Wolves, for what it's worth, like Wolves, I think the desperation there caused them not to respect Arsenal as much as Spurs did. So I think I was going to go to the Arsenal fans, but staying with the haters, dude. I mean, don't you think Spurs could have been a bit more aggressive, basically, in how they came at Arsenal? And do you think that's a lesson for?
We're only saying partial of your face. Is that how much you're shy to talk about Arsenal? Like, let's see your full face. Come on, put your chest out there, Mr. Jones.
Is the Manchester? I'm covered by Manchester, basically, in the background.
For me, I feel the new manager probably didn't understand what he was coming to do in this game. Because I felt it's your first game in charge. You don't have some of your key guys. What you should do is probably be more sit back and try to counter, which they tried to do, but the legs were not there. Like, for me, I would have just sat down the whole game and tried to hold Arsenal down. There's no point trying to prove your tactics now or anything. Just hold them down if you needed that point, especially after that 1-1. Or you would have put more body to attack, but there were less body in the front, and that midfield wasn't enough to hold Arsenal. So I don't know what he was thinking. So I didn't expect much. I told you before the game that Arsenal was going to win. It's one of the surest things for Arteta to beat Tottenham. So it's not much about talking about Chelsea. I'm full-hearted that game is either going to end in a draw or an L. That's what I know.
Mm,
for Chelsea,
mm,
right?
mm.
For Arsenal, not for Chelsea.
Let's not get too high on ourselves. Don't worry.
It's
No. Johnny Boy. I mean, of between you and Doctor Toes, right? You are more, I guess, like skeptical, even though you're also a believer. And I think you agree to acknowledge that this Arsenal team is vulnerable. Basically, there's a mistake there, and if Chelsea is able to defend better than Spurs are, and they manage to have more quality in attack than Spurs did today, they could cause problems, right? Is there any part of you that are you more comfortable in the fact that City would drop points too? Or do you think, Arsenal has what it takes to really basically bomb their way through?
Um, First of all, for Chelsea, I don't see any problem with Chelsea. Arsenal as a team, right? Arsenal's problem has never been my opponents. I've never been scared of my opponents. I've always been scared of Arsenal
for
themselves.
sure.
Themselves. Like for instance, our last game against Wolverhampton, we're
Hmm.
comfortably leading 2-0, and then for some reason our levels dropped, and that's how it has been most of our games this season. Once we score, our level drops. Either we go back to seats or we just stop playing. It happened even United. It happened against United. We scored you guys, and then all of a sudden your goal came out of nothing, like literally nothing. And that's been always been my fear for the outside, that I'm not scared. Arsenal on their day, if they play any team, we are capable of beating any team. The problem is always Arsenal playing against themselves. So if the players can be calm, I think Dagarai said that they went for a only players meeting before this game. Hopefully that will help calm the nerves and make them know that okay, you guys, we have to
They'll
like
need another
take
one
game
though. Next.
one by one by
Mm.
one. We can take the game one by one, no pressure. You know, we are still top of the league. Top of the league. At the end of the day, we are still top. If we do our job, we win the league, which has always been like that since. So I know Chelsea. I'm not really scared of Chelsea. As for Tottenham, the thing about Tottenham is that I wasn't really scared of them. Yes, I knew maybe manager bans, but if Arsenal did what we're supposed to do against Tottenham, we're always going to win. And you're blaming the manager coming into game. I don't think if you look at Tottenham's squad, their squad is depleted. Like no, I know we don't like using injury as an excuse, but their squad is literally depleted. So I can understand why he kind of went. And what do you mean? He was defensive. Tottenham were defensive. What are you talking about? Did you see the way they started the game? They were defensive, Jude. They didn't. They just Tottenham at the point. Arsenal had 40 touches in opposition box. Tottenham had only one, and the one they had was their goal. The goal they scored that Arsenal gave them. That was the only touch they had in our box. So that's what they had defensive. They were. So I don't understand what you mean that they were defensive the whole game. Tottenham. There
Yeah,
was
I
a time
mean,
in the
what?
game they had Arsenal had 40 something
That
touches in the
midfield is not
opposition box.
defensive enough.
Tottenham had only
That
one.
midfield is not defensive enough.
So I don't
They
get
just
I don't
they
get what
just
you
went
said.
back.
I
They
think.
tried to
I think.
defend, but the truth about it is that as I don't, I'm trying to remember who has kept. Nottingham Forest is the only team that Arsenal has not scored this season. Okay, and Liverpool. Those are only two teams that Arsenal have scored this season. So at the end of the day, no matter how defensive you are, Arsenal is going to find a way to score you. The problem with Arsenal
Right.
has always had is our
Because
own self.
because set
That's the
set piece
problem we always
FC.
have.
Dr. Tooves, that's certainly one way to look at it, right? Arsenal always scores. Arsenal's real enemy is really yourselves. That's one way to look at it. Another way to look at it is that Arsenal is a team like any other team, vulnerable in some ways, strong in others, right? And one of Arsenal's vulnerabilities this season has been that you're not scoring enough open play goals. I think you recently crossed a
Which is a
milestone
which is
today.
a myth though. Which is also
It's
a
a, it's a
myth.
myth because you crossed a milestone today and you scored three open play goals against a terrible Spurs team.
I mean,
Right?
we
You,
scored
you
two open play
finally
goals against
you finally crossed
Wolves too.
the threshold.
Our
Um,
open
Look at who you are
against Wolves, our
comparing. You're
open play.
comparing Wolves.
Brentford was open
right,
All
right.
play.
all of the goals,
28
United
and,
was
all of the
open
and,
goals
play
and
too.
were
16.
United was
all
open play.
all
Don't forget
all goals
United.
today were open play goals, by the way. So
Tottenham is a rubbish team. Chelsea will be a hard game. I agree with Michelle Clark there, right? And that's what I want Dr. Toast to
mhm.
speak on. Is it from your perspective, what's giving you more comfort? Arsenal's ability to beat everyone they come up against throughout the season, or the fact that City would also drop points?
Well, for me, I don't worry about City. I don't worry about. I support Johnny Boy. We have the same points. We have the same perspective. The only enemy of Arsenal right now this season, everybody knows, has been Arsenal. That's the reason why everybody's saying
Mm,
Arsenal are going to bottle it. They're not saying Arsenal are going to bottle it because City are perfect, or Arsenal are going to bottle it because everyone else is perfect. They said Arsenal are going to bottle it because they know Arsenal are going to drop points. So basically, the problem of Arsenal is Arsenal. First of all, I would say big up to Igor Tudor because there's nothing much he could have done. Like, what would he have done? He
Exactly.
only had like 13 fit players. He tried to keep the other
All out attack.
strikers. He kept his
At
other
two,
strikers,
two man
Tell,
play one. All out
Richarlison,
attack.
Solanke on the bench, so that in case of necessity,
And they were just come back from
exactly,
injury. So Lanke
they will come on.
and Richardson just came
But
back from
Arsenal were
injury.
just too much for
So
them. There was only one way this game was going to go. I know a lot of people were praying because of the way Wolves came back that Tottenham will have something, but they don't have anything, and they can go and get points elsewhere. Maybe I don't think they've played United twice. Have they played you guys twice already? Oh,
they
unfortunately.
have.
Also, I would have said they can get points from you guys, but they can go find their points elsewhere. But I'm
They can do it.
excited with what the team is going to do. I said from the day the transfer window ended, Arsenal are winning this league, and I still think they are going to do it. No matter what people like Michelle, T, Jude, and everyone else thinks around the world, Gary Neville's of this
All
world,
the
all the haters,
haters.
you guys can form together. And you guys can
Coca-Cola
join
FC.
together and form Voltron or join together and form the Mojo Jojo, whatever. I don't know what
Don't
band
worry, we'll
guys you
invite
guys
you guys
Not
for the
far. It's
parade.
not far.
Arsenal are winning this
Just tell
league
Arteta they need Zubimendi or
this
whoever is your
season.
captain. That you need another players meeting next
Odegaard
weekend.
is the captain, vice
You
captain,
need another
Bukayo Saka.
players.
You saw Saka today. You saw Gyökeres. Gyökeres now has 10 Premier League goals. You
No,
know,
no, no, no,
Mm.
no,
and
no.
and there is
I
and
saw
there is
Gyökeres
and
be
there are some
visible
Premier
today.
League proven strikers.
Man of the match as well. Add that man of
Exactly.
the match.
There are some
He's
Premier
one of
League
the match as well.
proven
Too.
strikers that are signed to United combined of 150 million. They
Yes.
don't have 10 goals, but anyways,
We
we'll
Yeah.
don't
talk
have
about
proven
United
They
very
don't
striker.
have
soon.
10
Yes.
goals.
We don't have any striker, please.
Eze,
Eh?
No Premier League
Eze
proven striker.
has shown that Tottenham. You guys wanted me, but really, I'm bigger than you guys. 5
Truly and
goals.
truly. I hate
Only
Tottenham.
Eze, 5 goals
I
against
hate
Tottenham.
Tottenham.
Like, what else? Even if
Should have been a hat trick. Should have been a hat trick. He missed a glorious chance. Should have been a
exactly,
hat trick.
even if when Arsenal wins the league and these are the only goals that Eze scores, 60 million well spent. Let it all work out.
He has given
That's
us
my
6
my
points
saying
this
out for
season.
now on the game.
No, so let's introduce some context into the situation, right? Everybody else has a game in hand on Arsenal. Right now it's a 5 point gap.
Point on the
If
board.
City win their game in
There's
hand.
a cliche. Point on the
Wait
board
now.
is better than game in hand.
Very good,
Okay.
very good.
Yes.
Very good. I know it's true. Point on the board. If it was by point on the board, right? Arsenal would have already won this Premier League since they would have
But we
even
didn't have the
won the
points on the
last one.
board.
But it's the winner at the end that matters. And City has a game in hand. So do the rest of the league.